Prepared to get hungry, people. Very, very hungry. Finally, the pro secrets to a steak that has a well-charred edge and warm, tender middle. We have your grilling guide for Father's Day 2018 that comes to us by way of our friend and grilling master, Tim Robinson. There has been a parade. They're having a parade of people today on the plaza stopping to smell and pick your brain about how can I do that at home, and you say it's possible.
It is so possible. We're going to make the best steak your father has ever eaten. A New York-style ribeye thick-cut steak, and he's going to die.
Did you just say the best steak he's ever eaten?
We made these in our demo kitchen back at ThermoWorks, and we had some visitors from New York that day. From New York.
Oh, the ultimate taste tester.
And they said it was the best steak they had ever eaten.
Boom, mic drop. This is it.
You can do this.
It comes down to a method.
It does, yes. So it's a thick-cut steak. We're doing ribeyes. You know, it's Father's Day, it's grilling season. You might as well get out the thick-cut steaks,
Go for it, yeah.
And this is called a ribeye. It's so prized because of what's called marbling. Do you see how that looks a little bit like marble?
Right.
The tendrils of fat are interspersed with the muscle fibers.
Yes.
That gives you an amazing mouthfeel.
Yes.
And so this is a thick-cut steak, however, so you got to take extra care how you cook it, and it's all about temperature control.
Do I have to ask my butcher for the thickness and the marbling you described?
You know, if you get a ribeye, it's usually going to be a thick cut because of it's a little bit more expensive. Yeah. Right, so you're spending a little bit more money, so you want to make sure not to overcook it. Uh-oh. So you got to be very, very careful. We can show you exactly how to do that.
You say ribeye, I call it the Fred Flintstone, right? Just throw it on top of the roof.
You can actually buy them with the bone on them. That's called the tomahawk.
Even better.
You could do that too.
Okay, so you've got to cook it right, so teach us.
So what you need to do is you need a two-stage method. It's called reverse searing.
Okay.
So you're going to set up your grill. If you have a kettle grill, like a Weber or something like that, or charcoals, you move all the charcoals to one side. Okay. And then you have a blank over here. Okay. And then if you're using a gas grill like we are here today, you have two burners on. And we're going to use that a little bit later. You can see that's steaming hot or piping hot.
Working its magic.
And then we're also going to use this burner off. Do you see how that's off? So we pulled this off just because we had to kind of do a quick take there. I'm going to put that back on. I've set a probe here.
So this is step one.
This is step one. You actually do what's called grill roasting. It's an indirect cook. Okay. So that the flames are actually heating the pan, but they're heating the air. And as I close this, that's going to create convective currents that are going to cook that steak gently up to about 110, 115 degrees. Yes. We're going for medium rare. If you like it medium, you could cook it about 5 degrees more. Okay, okay. And so we use this. This is called the smoke, and we're using that to kind of measure both the air temperature.
That is fancy.
So the air temperature is 335 degrees right now. Yeah. And also the internal temperature of our steak is about 119. It's a little higher than we want it, just because of the timing of everything.
Yeah, Tim's been a champ this morning trying to time with our TV schedule.
So we want that about 110. Okay. Typically, right? So the smoke will let us know when we get there. It's got a nice little receiver thing. Look at you. So your dad can go and watch the football game, or I guess now it's, what is it? The French Open, baseball? I don't know, whatever. There we go. So you got this, and you go sit down inside. You can measure your temperatures. It's going to beep when it gets there. And then we're going to move this to the direct once it gets to 120. There are those muscle fibers that are in there. Yeah. They begin to kind of shorten and contract at about 120 degrees. Okay. And that's what expels the water. So a medium rare steak is juicy, whereas a medium is less, and medium well, you probably want to get the steak sauce. Right, right. So here, we cook it gently to 110 degrees.
So most of your cooking time happens then?
That's most of your cooking time. It's going to be about 15 minutes. It's not that long. Okay, and then gets to about 110. Then to finish, we want to get it on a piping hot surface. Okay. You could do that on the grill itself. In this case, we're using the cast iron to get an even sear.
And you put it right on the grill?
You can put it right on the grill because this burner is not on. My handle is away from the direct heat. Okay. But I've got my cast iron that's being heated. We can actually check the temperature there.
Is this a what?
Yeah, this is called
a temperature gun?
An infrared thermometer.
Oh my gosh.
And so we've got that to about 500 degrees. Now, in a fancy restaurant like Ruth's Chris or something like that, they would literally have an oven at 1,200 degrees just for the sear. Kidding. They would cook it gently, then they would sear it at 1,200. We're trying to approximate. Well, actually, what it does is there are sugars in the steak, and the sugars break down at about 300 degrees. It's called the Maillard effect. And they break down and make that amazing crust, that richness, those complex flavors. Yes. And that's what we want. So we're going to move this steak.
You are a steak scientist, Tim.
Oh, you got to get it right.
Okay, we got about a minute. So move that steak over. We'll give it the sear on the 500 degrees.
And we're going to let that sear. While that's searing, we're going to make some compound butter.
Now, you say this is another key to this gorgeous steak.
This is is an amazing key. We've got 2 ounces of blue cheese.
Yeah.
We've got half a teaspoon of chopped thyme leaves.
Okay.
Half a teaspoon of lemon zest. Get as much of that as we can. Baby. And then we're gonna grab these gloves and we're gonna work that up. Let's see, here they are.
You're like, gloves, where are you, gloves?
Where are the
Don't
gloves?
let us down now.
Okay, so put that on.
Oh, this is me. Oh.
Put that on.
Yes, I accept.
And you're gonna mix that up. Now the butter sits on top of the steak and makes an amazing kind of confluence of flavors, right?
And I'm just going for it?
Just go for it. Just start mixing that up.
I like this.
Scrunch, scrunch.
Okay, okay.
And then once it's all mixed together, which is nice and kind of loose, go ahead and set that on this wax paper right there.
Okay.
So you put that on the wax paper.
And
then what you end up doing is you roll this wax paper into a cylinder.
Okay.
Right? So we kind of make that into a cylinder, we roll it up, put that in the fridge to chill for just a little while.
Yes, and we get this?
And then you get this, and then we go ahead and we take a pat of that butter, and we put that on top of the steak. It melts onto the steak. We have some French fries here. This is called steak frites.
And this is a memory for you.
This is. I served my mission in France, and they always serve their steak not with mashed potatoes or baked potatoes, but with fries. Frites. Yeah. And so when it's Father's Day at the Robinson home, it's steak frite. My wife is well trained. Oh my gosh. Every Father's Day.
That's what you want.
We want steak
well,
frites.
You're being so generous to teach us today your secrets, your scientific secrets of the perfect steak. And I know on your website you have the frites tutorial, right?
Yes. If you go to blog.thermalworks.com and you type in ribeye, you're going to get an amazing tutorial on how to make the ribeye. Go ahead.
Is this for me?
Yeah,
for real?
For you.
Okay.
You got to eat that in one bite.
Okay, then tell us more about the fries while I
And then the fries are made with beef tallow and peanut oil. And that you can learn also at blog.thermalworks.com. Look for French fries. You're going to learn all about how to make the best French fries you've ever had in your life. And you're going to have a good Father's Day.
This is so good. I don't even care if all of my manners have gone out the window. Mom, I'm sorry, not sorry. This is so good.
Happy Father's Day to Mark and everyone in your family.
Happy Father's Day to you. I feel like I'm being treated today, you guys. That's amazing. We'll link you over to the blog from our website, studio5.ksl.com. Do I have steak on my face?
No,
are we okay?
Good. And you can get your thermometers at thermalworks.com.
Which helps this whole process.
The ThermaPen is what we used.
I love the ThermaPen. Thank you, Tim.